All right, it is Mardi Gras time in Houma, Louisiana. The crew of Hercules is going to ride on Friday night. Guess who we have? The Grand Marshal, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, is here. How you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. Happy Mardi Gras.
Same to you. It's the 37th annual, and you've already been on the entourage with SP and the whole crew, and Mike, SP Jr. So, what was last night like? Give me a little update.
Well, we went by the den. The floats are incredible. I can't believe the throws. I've never seen so many throws on those floats. I don't know how the axles hold up. The people are incredible. You can feel the love and passion they have, not only for Mardi Gras, but also for this community. And then last night, after a little cup of bourbon and a couple shots, I slept like a baby. But this is an exciting day, and I can feel the energy and passion this community has in the air, and I'm real excited.
Now we can loosen up a little bit. You said you went to the brewery, and the guy said I'd be honored if you took a little shot. You don't get to drink much or have fun, but you get to let your hair down for this, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, you can see I'm looking forward to the crowds are going to be magnificent. Yeah. They always are down here. The people turn out. But something I'm really proud of. Before COVID, my first year as Lieutenant Governor, I had people say, well, I'm not going to Mardi Gras. It's too expensive. I'm not bringing my children to the quarter. I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's Mardi Gras all over Louisiana. So we refocused our whole plan that year on promoting Mardi Gras all over Louisiana. As a matter of fact, on Mardi Gras Day that year, if you got on a Southwest airline plane in 11 cities, they put a pair of beads on you and they said, wherever you're flying today, ma'am or sir, it's Tuesday. But in Louisiana, it's Mardi Gras. And they even announced it on the plane. And when you open the book, there was a map of Louisiana. And down at Houma, Morgan City, they had an alligator and a trout. And over in Shreveport, they had a hot dog. I don't know why, but they throw hot dogs. But we had a story in that book about Mardi Gras in every community around the state. Yeah. That year, we saw a 10 to 25% increase the following year for Mardi Gras bookings all over. And this year, we're expecting a bigger than ever Mardi Gras. And we've promoted the parades here, all along the coast, all the way up through Ruston, Shreveport, and we're expecting a 20 to 40% increase of out-of-town visitors to come to these smaller communities where you can have family-friendly, safe, affordable Mardi Gras that you don't get in the big cities.
But I think with COVID winding everybody down, they're ready to wind it up tonight.
They really are. I'm
you better
excited.
watch out.
I am.
You could be dancing on that float and everything.
I think you're going to see a record-breaking crowd tonight and all the way through Mardi Gras as people are ready to get out. They're ready to get back to having a good time, and no better place to do it than here in Houma, Louisiana.
What does Mardi Gras mean to you? You knew Blaine Kern pretty well. SP's Blaine Kern Jr., and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, you know, I go back with the Kern family. My daddy had a shrimp factory across the street from where Blaine started building the float, so he was like a second dad to me my whole life. And I tell you, you're right. They're two peas in a pie. He even walks like Blaine, and they both age so well. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not going to tell you his age, but Blaine as well. They were kids until Blaine passed away. He still had crazy ideas and thinking big and outside the box. And that's, look at this parade tonight. We've been through a hurricane, COVID. You know, look at the floats, the people that bounce back so quickly. It's because of that passion. And that's what Blaine had, and that's what you have down here.
I'll tell you SP's age, since you don't want to do it. His first Grand Marshal was Moses.
Well, he told me his birth certificate says he's 61 or 62, but he didn't get that till he was older, so we don't know.
All right, so you're going to stop in front of HTV. Veterans are going to be on the balcony. Talk about that a little bit. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, you know, I guess you saw the Macy's Day alligator, and so I'm excited to be on an alligator because that was an incredible float. We got worldwide exposure for that. And then the Rose Bowl parade. Well, when I went out there to make the pitch to try to get a float in, their theme was Dream, Believe, Achieve. And I said, she goes, are you going to ride? I said, no, I'm going to put a veteran. I'm going to put a police officer of the year, teacher of the year. We actually took a doctor from Thibodeau Regional to represent all those hospital workers that stayed open through the hurricane, but also risked their lives through COVID. We're going to put Lane Hardy, American Idol,
Yeah.
Miss Louisiana. We put all the best to represent the best Louisiana has to offer. And she goes, wow, that's pretty special. She was going to ask you one other thing. She says, does everybody in Louisiana have that much passion? I said, yes, ma'am. Everybody does. Well, we were only one of 3 parade floats that got in the Rose Bowl. We won the most, the floral design, and we also best entertainment with the Hot 8 Brass Band and Lane Hardy. And if you get a chance to go out there, we invited all of Louisiana to come out and decorate 34,000 roses on that float. But when we came back home, we said, what can we do to honor our veterans? And that is to put a float, our Feed Your Soul float in parades, put our veterans. In Slidell, we're going to put some special needs children, school teachers, some veterans. So we want to use that float and do that every year to show the greater good of those veterans that fought for this country.
And as we go to a break, how are your shoulders feeling?
I'm ready.
Because you're going to be waving a lot.
I'm ready.
Oh, do you have anything to throw? SP got you anything
I
to
don't
throw?
know. We'll find out when I get up there.
Because you'll not only have to hear him, but you'll have to be receiving stuff from him. It's going to be interesting.
I'm excited.
You know, Hercules always does it right. Nice brochure. When you open it up, they just, and this is glossy. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it on TV. Real nice. And there's the king right there, Damian Robinson. And look, they got all the pictures on the back. And so, I know you've been in front of crowds before, but when you turn onto the parade route, you're going to be Elvis Presley. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
The crowds, I'm expecting big record-setting crowds, and to have all of these great men from the Bayou down up here riding is going to be just incredible. I'm glad to be down here with my friend Gardy Dove and all the elected officials down here, and excited today we get to go by and visit with the special needs children.
Right.
Something that's really special for me because I got into politics as me and my wife had a riding center for special needs children in Plaquemines. And I wasn't getting into politics. I rode out Katrina to protect those horses. I watched miracles happen as we put those kids on horseback. And I rode out Katrina to protect them and ended up rescuing people and never seeing a politician. So I got mad and ran for office. Yeah. But ever since I've been parish president and then lieutenant governor, TALK has been one of those organizations that does so much good for the special needs. As a matter of fact, we employ special needs adults and teenagers at our state parks every summer to try to help them get jobs and work. And so I'm really honored to go by there with the parish president, Gordy, and give those special needs people a little something to cheer about.
Do you sense that the crew of Hercules is different in a good way? The energy that comes from that group is unbelievable.
It's not only the energy, the way they all pull together. You know, whether it's a hurricane, COVID, to see this community, it's really special.
Right.
And you know, somewheres in the state, you've got elected officials that every 4 years they show up to get reelected. You've got elected officials here that really care. They get out and work in the community night and day. And so when you get a chance to have an event like this parade and come together for the greater good and have fun, it just makes it that much, that more special. Because through the hard times and the rough times, knowing that everybody has each other's back, when you can do something like this as a team, it just makes it that much more fun and special, and it's just going to be a great time. I've never seen so many throws in all my life. And I rode in Endymion for 10 years, and those floats were not loaded like these floats.
And you know how much that does for the economy?
Oh, it's a ripple
money,
effect.
yeah.
Absolutely. And look, the people that'll be out here eating and drinking and spending money, it's huge. But I hope the axles hold up, because the amount of throws on those floats, it's
Well, that's always been a problem, but I think they've reinforced it. The hotels are booked to have a crew in Houma working on antennas and all. They had to stay in Morgan City.
yeah, that's a good thing. And hopefully, as we continue to promote not only Mardi Gras, but every event they have in these regions in Houma, Morgan City, the more they stay full, the more we'll see people invest in building more hotels, so we can host more events and bring more people to the area. But I think they're at about 65% was coming into this weekend, up to 85%, and hopefully it'll be 100% booked. Where we've had a problem around the state is getting workers for those hotels. We're working on a plan now to train hospitality workers, maybe kids in high school, kids not going to college, to try to get them into the industry so as many of these hotels that haven't opened back up can open back up.
You realize your name is Billy. If you don't, you will tonight, right? You're going to hear Billy 50,000 times. You're going to get tired of hearing Billy.
Hey, that's great. I only get tired of hearing it when my wife calls me to do chores.
What about the garb you got on? Who
Yeah, I
gave
tell
that?
you. And then I got this beautiful gold. This is special. I feel like Mr. T. But it's heavy. He told me it's real gold. Now, I don't know if that's true or not.
Who tell you that, SP?
Yeah, SP said it's
It
real.
might be. You never know.
But it's a real honor to be down here and to be Grand Marshal. Incredible crew, and I'm excited.
How many times have you been? You're the center of attention a lot, but have you ever been Grand Marshal anywhere?
Trying to remember. I've been invited to a few parades. I don't think I've been Grand Marshal.
Yeah.
I'm Grand Marshal of a boat parade coming up over at Tickfall. I've never done that before on a boat. I don't know if you throw throws to the shore or what, but we'll see.
You throw catfish. Just don't hit them with the barb.
But I tell you, we try to put that float that's in the parade tonight all over the state. It'll be in Slidell Sunday with some special needs children, veteran school teachers there. And we try to move that around to promote tourism, but also to honor those special people in different communities.
Yeah, so what's your first thing? After you leave HTV, we got about a minute on this segment. We'll come back. But where are y'all heading to first?
We're going to the Civic Center and then to talk with the parish president and to make those special needs, give them a little special treat.
And that's where all the clubs are going to be there, so it's going to be fun. We're going to have a camera
that's great.
Stalking you all day long. You're going to have a good time.
We are. I'm excited, and then I understand we'll get a little rest before the parade tonight, but
Just a little.
Just a little. That's all right.
If it's up to SP, you will not get any rest.
You told me he's going to be dragging me around town, but that's fine. I want to get out and see the people.
He's got to go visit Moses and his gang. They can say what they want, but what a heck of a promoter, and just a good guy to get things going.
You know, every time we get in that limo, he tells me a different story about stamping the bananas with his name on it and throwing them in the community when he ran for office. Just some incredible stories. You know, we need to get all that on tape because one day we'll make a movie or a show about him like they did Blaine to highlight all the incredible things he's done for this community and made Mardi Gras what it is, much like Blaine in the New Orleans area. Him and Blaine, what this float, this parade has become down here is second to none.
Yeah, full of energy. How did, I remember during the hurricane, Anderson Cooper having you on all the time. Did you ever think your life was going to just explode like that?
No, it's, usually people get into politics and they have goals and dreams. When I sold my offshore General Marine leasing, I built a riding center for special needs children. And with Katrina approaching, me and my wife had over 200 children and adults with special needs. We took out of wheelchairs and put on the back of a horse. I saw miracles happen. I went to a little girl's wedding a few years ago that 7 years old, told she'd never walk again. I watched her dance at her wedding. Greatest thing I've ever done with my life. But we rode out Katrina to protect those horses. And after rescuing 34 people by airboat that lived with me and my wife for months and never seeing a politician, I got angry and ran for office. Then after the oil spill, and I made my living in the oil field. I support the oil field 100%, always. But they were doing some things out in the marsh, killing pelicans, hiding things that shouldn't have been going on, and I got angry. And all I ever wanted to do was work with them to make sure we minimize the damage to our coast and our seafood industry. And every time you turned around, they lied to you and went behind your back. And I couldn't understand why more people wasn't upset. And I was angry that they were not working with us to save our coast. And not a lot of people were standing up that should have been standing up. And it just kind of happened. I was angry that the lieutenant governor at the time gave money to Shreveport from BP. And I flat out told him there's no oil in Shreveport. As a matter of fact, when I ran against him, I got up in Shreveport. And I said, you don't deserve any BP money. They booed me. I said, well, if they spill oil, a train spills oil up here, do you want to send some money to Plaquemines Parish? Hell no. I said, then why are you getting BP money? The oil was along the coast. But we played politics with it. That wasn't the right thing to do. So it was more of me wanting to make change for the good of the people than really wanting a career in politics.
But it all came full circle because now all of that led to Houma, Louisiana, Grand Marshal, and you are dressed in bling bling.
I'm ready, man. This is it. This is the highlight.
And it's a night parade. It's different than a day parade. You get to see all the lights and everything.
I'm excited. And you know, it's kind of special riding on that gator.
Yeah.
After having the longest float ever in the Macy's Day Parade, that alligator crawling down the street, wagging its tail, blowing confetti. And I tell you, if you get a chance, you need to go to the Macy's Parade just to see. They don't throw throws, but the best experience out of the two was the Rose Bowl. Volunteering to put on those roses for 3 days, 34,000 roses on our float alone, to see those volunteers working around the clock. We had a beignet truck. We served them beignets.
Wow.
And then we had shrimp fettuccine for lunch. So we fed all the people decorating all the floats and really made a big splash.
A little hint about that alligator float, because I had the privilege of being on it in 2011. The canvas is real tight on the side, so if you bounce something off of it, it shoots off.
You got it. Okay.
You got to
That's
try
my
that.
tip. That's what I'll do.
You got it. So with 225 left, the veterans are all going to be here looking for a message from you. Give them a little precursor of what you're going to tell them.
Well, we should always honor our veterans. And there's nothing I won't do to support our veterans. And we've got to do a better job of making sure every veteran in the state has whatever they need, whether it's medical, housing. 2 years ago, I tried to pass a bill, and we'll be back this year with 3 scratch-offs, one for veterans, seniors, special needs children. I don't buy scratch-offs.
Right.
But if I knew it was helping those 3 groups, I'd buy a few every time I got gas. We created Songs for Survivors, where we get 12 veterans in, they talk about their suffering, and they put a song together. Been a great hit. They've taken that as a model around the country to help our veterans suffering. But I just want to let them know that this is just, it's a special day for Mardi Gras, but it's always a good day to honor our veterans. And to be able to get some of those veterans on a float, let them be celebrated and honored. We couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for their bravery in keeping this country free. And every chance we get, you see a veteran, you should just say thank you. It does mean the world to them. My dad was a Marine, is a Marine, he's up there.
Right.
And they should be lifted up everywhere. You know, one of my greatest pleasures every year is I go into the prison and I feed Louisiana seafood to all the veterans in prison. People say, why you to do that? They can't vote for you. They still fought for this country. And a lot of them in there because of things they brought home with them. And so all our veterans deserve to be honored.
All right, you're going to be under the lights. When you hit HTV, there are going to be many lights on you. And we're looking forward to seeing you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you dancing and having a good time. Mr. Lieutenant Governor.
Happy Mardi Gras.
And thank you for being Grand Marshal. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. All right, the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Louisiana, Billy Nungesser. Tonight's his night. You'll see him in lights. We'll be back. Don't go away.